Do I have a motion for adjournment?
No.
No.
I have something else I'd like to bring up.
Okay.
At the last meeting, there was an incident that occurred that has, I've received a lot of inquiries about, and I think that this occurred, and the public is aware of this incident occurring, where one of the school board directors had some money in their envelope that we got. And that, I think, I'd like an explanation for that. I think since the public is aware of it, the public also deserves a right to know.
I agree with you. It was an attempt at humor, obviously. It was people attempted humor. I have to blame for that incident an old uncle of mine, who many years ago, when we would go to our grandparents for Christmas, they would hand out little envelopes and everyone would get $2 for that. My one uncle would always put an extra 20 in there and said, "Wow, look what I got." So at the last meeting, I saw an envelope and I had a flashback to old times, and I looked at Mr. Bergman and Carol, and I think every many people in there, and I pulled money out of my pocket, put it in the envelope, and then I publicly opened it and said, "Oh, look what's in there." Now, if there were any thing at all that was underhanded with that, obviously, I don't think a normal person would disclose monies publicly on a table, and let's just, I apologize for that attempt at humor that obviously wasn't humorous. It wasn't poor judgment to do that.
Can I ask you who you identified that joke to?
He identified it to me.
To Mr. Smith when he came in, because we've done that many times, the two of us. Mr. Bergman was watching, and he was smiling there with that.
We're standing right there.
Mrs. Clement was explaining to Betty, who saw me put money in there, she was explaining to her that I don't have to pay for the tickets. And Betty kept saying, "You don't have to pay for those tickets." And Carol's saying, as I told Carol, I put it in there, she's telling Betty, "You put it in there."
Wait, are you saying Mrs. Clement? Did Mrs. Clement
Oh,
say?
you know what, I
Okay.
have a written explanation of this whole thing in the hands of Dr. Picabla, in the hands, in case anyone thinks there's something else
Well,
going on,
I'm
in the
sorry.
hands of my personal attorney. And if there is some accusation someone wants to make,
I'm not making any
which I've
accusation.
heard involving a member of this, one of our employees, then I think this better stop now, because someone's going to be liable for something.
I'm not
for
making
this.
any accusation, I'm
Well-
trying to get an explanation.
Well, my explanation,
And
if you want to read what Mrs. Picabla
No,
has, you can do
so
it.
far I'm not understanding your explanation.
Well,
I
I'm
think
not
I have-
explaining to you. Obviously, you don't understand a whole lot.
I guess I'm really stupid, so I guess you're gonna have to help me.
No, you're
Well, I'm
not.
not helping you.
You're not
So they-
stupid. You're not stupid at all. You're a very intelligent
Okay.
person. But what you are is
I'm not
political.
asking you, Mr.
Well,
Smith.
well-
Mr. Smith, I'm not
Well,
asking.
maybe I'm involved.
Excuse me.
You asked a question about board
I
meetings.
haven't asked you a question, and I asked a couple
I think you're
pointed
just political.
questions. First of all, I heard in your explanation that you said, at one time you said Mrs. Jordan saw you put the money in.
No, I think she
At
did.
one time you said Mrs. Clement saw you put the money in, so I'd like to ask them, did you guys see?
And Mr.
him
Bergman,
put the
they're all
money in?
saying no.
Yeah,
Actually,
Did Mrs. Dornan, did you not, I can remember your words and your voice saying, you don't have to pay for those tickets.
I saw money in your hand, I saw the envelope, I did not see you put money in the envelope. And
Why
I
did you
said
say
to
you don't have to pay
I
for the
said,
tickets?
I thought you were going to pay for the tickets, and I said, no, you don't have to pay for the tickets, they're free.
Now, in your wildest imagination, if it were the case, which Mrs. Balco, at a gathering that I attend year after year with some very close friends there, started a rumor that a board member was on the take.
There was no rumor
I'm
started, and
thinking-
I've already consulted my attorney, so
someone's-
watch what you say,
In
because
someone's
that
wildest
is not true.
imagination, if someone were trying to buy favors from a person, would they, who would do that, and why would that happen? I mean, to me, it's ridiculous to put any credibility to
I never
anything you guys are
accused
saying.
you of
That's the end of my explanation.
Motion to adjourn.
No,
Motion to adjourn,
I
second.
would like
All
to
in
say,
favor?
for the
All in
record,
favor?
I'm not satisfied.
There's a
with
motion,
that
there's a motion and a
And I
second.
think I have the right.
And you
to
Still
say-
under discussion, Chuck, so leave it alone.
Motion to adjourn and a second.
And I resent, Larry, you bringing that up because I have 6 witnesses that heard every word I said, and at no time did I accuse you of anything. I never said your name. I never said anything. Now, you sit there and smile like that. Watch what you say about me because I've already consulted attorney also. You've got 3 people here that are denying your story.
I know that.
Okay. Nobody mentioned your name. Nobody said anything. The only thing I'm saying is, when you look like you're on the take, if it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it might be a
Tell me
duck.
what this misperception is not reality.
Explain to me that on
I'm
the
just
tape.
saying,
Chuck, so what do you
one
know?
person would put money
But
in
you
an
didn't see it,
envelope.
did you?
I was standing
You
right here.
didn't see it, did you?
I was standing right here.
Did you see it?
Charlie, you did not.
Did you
You were
see it?
not there.
Did you see it?
Well, let me answer, you want me to answer, you want me to answer that? Yes.
No, you were not.
Oh, really?
No, you were not.
Stop, stop.
You
Let me
were not.
answer, let me tell you what took place. For
Bring
two-
the words.
You
For-
weren't even
You
in
was
the
had your
room.
back from talking to her. How did you see it?
Charlie,
You were not even in the room.
I was right here.
That's right, with your back turned.
And let me tell you what took place, Mary Ann. Larry looked at me and said, you know, he says,
Charlie, he did not.
Hey, I would also like to say that if
I tell you what.
that's a joke, and that's your idea of a joke, that's very poor taste.
I've been on this board for 20 years,
Very.
and it's not a paying job. I never took a dime from anything. I don't put any, you put an expense account in?
You said you did.
Well,
Do you put
nobody
expense
I just
account
asked
in?
you, I asked you, did you see it
And then
happen?
shut up and let me answer the question.
No. Answer's no.
He looked at me and said, did you get your
He
paycheck?
you
did
see it
not.
happen?
You were not even sitting there when he opened up that envelope.
Charlie, can I ask you?
No! Wait a minute! You stop!
No.
You asked the question!
You were not even sitting
I
there.
was sitting right
You
here.
were
You
not.
didn't, we're not. You said
You
you were
were
standing
not.
up there.
Before this happened, when I came in the room, I sat right here.
No, you did not.
God have mercy! God have mercy!
Okay.
I can't believe you're telling me to censor me.
Nobody.
When I sat down here and opened my packet, I said, what are these, Larry? And he said, that's our paychecks.
Not that
No,
meeting.
yes, it was. It was the football tickets.
Charlie, just drop it.
No, I'm not
Nobody-
going to because you guys are playing
There's nobody
politics.
here believes you
And you never
because
played
we
politics.
saw
You
it.
never did.
We saw it.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
Sorry.
I'm not playing
Yeah, I guess he does. You never knew. That's
Excuse
right.
me.
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm offended by that remark. I am not playing politics. As far as I'm concerned.
You are not interested in hearing what I have to say.
As a member of this
You
board.
have no interest in saying what I have to
Excuse
say.
me, I'm trying to talk.
I know you're offended. I got it.
No, because we filled your life.
As a member
Because we
of
all
this
saw it.
board,
You were not
I
sitting in that chair when that
Stop.
envelope
I
was
want to know why
opened.
you
Stop.
told the James 3
All right,
times.
can I,
So-
may I please say something, please? May I please say something?
Go ahead.
Okay. I think that if, at the end of that,
This is
Mr.
a
Mauro,
big-
may I please finish talking?
Let her talk.
Would have said, this, is, you know, Carol did not realize that was a joke. I don't believe Betty realized that was a joke. However, Mr. Kennedy has revealed to me that he has seen you do that before. So I would like him to say, in all fairness, I would like him to say what he told me out in the hall. Go ahead, Jim.
Last year, we got the same envelope, he did the same thing.
Exactly.
And I saw him do it. I put the money in, made a joke, like it was something.
But he
I
didn't
saw
make a
it.
joke the last meeting.
Mary Ann,
Mary, let him
I'm
talk,
just saying,
please.
I watched him do it, it was a joke last year, it was nothing,
who did he make the joke to?
I wasn't
Listen,
here the
I
other
would-
day,
the
but
rest-
last week, or
You were on
last
the board-
year.
You were on the board last year, did you see that happen?
No.
You were on the board last year, did you see that?
No,
You
I'm
were on
just
the board
telling you what I
last year, did you
saw.
see that?
not at all.
Okay,
I'm just telling you what I saw.
okay, I'm just saying,
I wasn't here
What,
last
you know,
month, but last year,
I
he
am
did the same
just
thing with
saying-
the same envelope.
if it was a poor joke this year, it was a poor joke last year.
That's
As
what you're-
as a person on this board, I believe you have a responsibility to the public to behave in an ethical manner. And I think pulling a joke like that calls your ethics into question. And no one got punched on it apparently except for Mr. Smith. But
I have no response to you. I can't disagree with what you're saying.
Why the story
And I-
had to change
I,
3 times, that's the only
and I'm
difference.
gonna tell you right now.
I can understand why.
He doesn't pass
pointed
the
out.
smell
People
But I
pointed
think-
out, not accusations, but statements were made that other people knew about it, other people saw it, and it wasn't true. So I just, that's where I fell short on it all, and seeing that the story changed 2 or 3 different times.
No, no story changed. The only story that changed, I assumed, since when I did this, Mr. Bergman, I wasn't reading him right. He was smiling when that money was going in and out of the envelope. I assumed he knew what was going on. Betty, I heard her say you don't have to pay for the tickets. I assumed that meant she saw me put it in. Carol was explaining to her I didn't pay for the tickets. I assumed Carol knew what was going on. All 3 of my assumptions obviously were not correct on that count.
Okay.
And I never changed any story. There's no story. The exact documentation of that is in the hands of Dr. Kemp.
Charlie,
Now,
you
anyone
don't
like
need to
to
say
say-
anything.
Oh, yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. When I sat down here,
I'm out of here.
I pulled
I'm
out-
tired of
I
listening
pulled
to your
the-
lies.
I pulled-
I'm tired of listening
I
to
pulled the
your
tickets out of my, I pulled the
campaign.
tickets out of my, I pulled the tickets out of my bundle.
Judge for
He looked at,
themselves, he's
Huh?
lying.
he looked at me, and he said, did you get your paycheck? And I says, what paycheck? Well, the paycheck we get every year.
Charlie,
And then he said, well, watch. And I said, well, do what you gotta do. But I walked over here and was standing right here talking to, I think it was, Mr. Ross. Ferris, yeah. And he went over there and did what he already did. I wasn't a part of that. I didn't even realize that's what he was going to do. But normally he just says to get your paycheck. And it's a joke because we dedicate a lot of time, tons of time. For 20 years I've been dedicating a lot of time and no compensation for it, and I didn't ask for it. In fact, I've given more than I've taken.
You knew that was the requirements before you asked.
No problem, I'm not complaining about it.
nobody's
There's no
asking
reason-
us.
I'm just telling you what took place, Marie.
Meeting adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
It's done. Meeting adjourned.
What, was it voted on?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Nope.
Meeting adjourned.
Okay,